Hi folks, so I'm just here at a place called Hogsback. The actual town is called Hogsback for 2 nights, 3 nights, and then we'll be making my way back to Durban. Yeah, just came out here for some R&R and some peace, if you will, some space. Now you hear we're next to the main road. It's not really a main road. It's a sand road, but it's the one main road that goes through the whole town. It's a very remote place on top of mountains, if you want to call it, or the, I don't know, in a sense, yeah, but very remote, 400 or 500 people, and with 5-acre lands each, so a lot of room, if you will, rather spacious, and just incredible views, and you know how it goes, fresh air and tranquility and just stars at night. The stars actually exist. You forget about that when you're in the city, and so yeah, it's a powerful place, this, I tell you. It really is. Anyways, I was thinking about the people that life is the most challenging for, and have the most suffering, if you will. Again, I'm short on words this morning. It's still quite early, so please bear with me. And I'm also sort of transitioning from the city to this place. It's it's very different for me. Head's maybe not in the best space to be doing a recording, but there's one or two things I wanted to share. So the people that have more are more conscious and have more consciousness, see more of the duality of life, right? And see a bigger picture of life and feel more deeply about the dualities of life. And that's inevitably going to create more struggle, more discomfort, and more challenges as well. And it's not, the road is not really this busy, I must say, but as soon as I switched on the camera to record, it's truck after truck here. Anyway, so that's the thing, is that the more you become aware of the duality of things, the more, in a bigger perspective, the more life is going to be struggling. The more you care, the more you're going to be challenged, and by life. You see, it's not so much by life, it's just by the matrix, in a way. It's the matrix world that we're going to feel, sort of, I don't know, alienated from, or just challenged, constantly just challenged our whole lives. The people of the matrix, not just the matrix masters, or whatever it is, the agent Smiths, but also the people within the matrix, and the system that they work and they have designed, being the matrix, and so the more, and that's it. And I've known this, well, I've realized that this is my experience of my whole life, right? Is the challenge against the opposition of the matrix, and how it works. And that's because I care, right? I think, again, it's got to do with caring. And when I speak to people who just don't care, they're very sort of easygo people. They like, I was speaking to my lady friend the other day, and I was saying, when I walk into a supermarket, there's so little food that I can eat. When I come to a town as such, and there are restaurants, there's so little that I can eat. Right? In this world, for me, there is so little that I can eat. There's so little that I can drink. Like, I can't drink the municipality water, I can't eat the McDonald's. I can't eat the processed breads and foods. And from time to time, yes, but there's a lot of food. Especially when I'm in Johannesburg, because Johannesburg's really bad. When I'm in Johannesburg, there's one or two restaurants that I can eat at, and it's dismal, type of thing. And again, very few health stores, if any, and it's just very few people that are making, bakeries that are making their own, homemade bread, if you want to call it, with healthy ingredients and unbleached, stone flour or something like that, and whatever it is, and it's just you know what I'm talking about, and so it's hard. It's difficult to, when you're sensitive to that. And it's not like, oh well, before this trip, before I came on this trip, I went with my lady friend and we went to the supermarket, and I was like looking at all these meals. Like I could have bought already-made hamburgers and hot dogs and sausage rolls and leg of chicken and whatever it is, and just fried chips, and it's just abundance. It's just abundance, and it's cheap, hey? It really is cheap, and yet I can't eat any of it. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat meat or chicken, and I don't eat that much dairy, but I do from time to time, but again, there's just so little for me to purchase, and that makes it difficult. It's also so little for me to drink. Like I can't drink, any of the fizz pops, soda pops, whatever, those kind of things, the orange juices that are not even orange juice. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so it makes it difficult. It makes it difficult. It makes it difficult because I'm sensitive to the sounds around me. Like in the city, I'm sensitive to the music of today, the pollution of all of the matrix pollutions and toxins of the matrix. I'm saying spiritually, physically, psychologically, you name it, what the matrix produces. I'm just too sensitive for it. And not only that, but the actions of the matrix as well, right? The dumbing down of society and whatever. Like these are the things I care about, the destruction of nature. I care about the suffering of animals. I care about the suffering of the planet. I care about the suffering of others. And yet, most of the people I talk to do not give a darn, I don't know also if it's a thing about this country and the culture of this country or whatever it is, but like, my lady friend and her friends, like, again, they don't really give a darn. It's shocking here in South Africa. There's something here called after tears. That basically when somebody dies, after the funeral, it's a party, it's a piss up, right? You go to a club. I've spoken about this before, and it's just so appalling. Yesterday I drove into this Hogsback place, right? And I had been around already, and on the main road, and there's these guys here from the village, right? They started drinking. They sit on the main road here, right, huddled up together with their bottles of beer at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And this was on Tuesday, right? And whatever it is, come back a few hours later, the guys are piss drunk and they're trying to sell you these walking sticks. But the way that they try and sell it to you is that they run up to your window, they're piss drunk, their clothes are ripped apart. You know what I mean? Like their toes are sticking through their shoes or whatever it is. They are so drunk, they're in your face, they stink. Like I'm saying, they're just hideous to look at. Like, buy my, I need money. Like literally. And it's like, what the hell? Like there's no shame in them. There's no like care about what they're doing, what they're saying. And these people, a guy's probably in his 40s, in his 50s, and he's coming at you. He's like almost stopping your car and being like, hey, please, I'm suffering, and it's like, it's so insidious to see. It's just so insidious to see. I know I go on about this, folks, but here in South Africa, you read the headlines. Oh man, 19-year-old boy kills parents and drags their bodies behind the car. I'm not making this up. I was speaking to my lady friend the other day about all the stories I was telling her about, and she said to me, you're making it up. I said, I promise you I'm not making it up, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I can't understand the consciousness of the people of this country. Like, death to them is absolutely nothing. Life has no value whatsoever. It troubles me to no extent. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know. I just go on about it because it's just so. And these people, and they don't care. And they don't care. They don't care about nature. They don't care about anything. Most just care about fashion, getting drunk, having a party, and that's it. And just being rich and famous and having sex and watching football. I don't understand it. It's like no wonder there's this purification that is possibly going on. No wonder, I know this sounds horrendously horrible, but no wonder there might be a big cleansing of people on this planet. Like, no wonder there might be, because so many people are just are just taking and not adding anything to it. You know, they were adding the fact that they were, you know, playing a role in whatever it is. I've done a talk on this, but like their role has expired now. They are useless, you know, in the bigger, cosmic, grander picture of things. Nature does not support this. It will not support this. There's just no ways that it can support it, right? The delinquency, the immaturity, the dysfunctionality, the pathologicalness, whatever it is, there's just no ways. There is beauty in this world. I mean, look around here, folks. Look what I'm showing you here. I mean, there is beauty, there is intelligence, right? There is genius to this, there is method to this, there is calculation to this, there is order to this. It's the unconscious human being, whether they've chosen to become unconscious, it's just part of their destiny or something like that. It's just, you know, they was just there for themselves playing a role, you know, that they just didn't evolve and that we just needed enough people to evolve or something like that, you know. But I mean, come on. So there will be a cleansing, there's no question about it, folks. There will be a cleansing of the people. I mean, and I don't know, I'm not the one in charge of this cleansing that's going to happen. I'm preparing myself for it. I prepare myself for it, mentally, physically, you know, and emotionally, you know, whatever it is. Because some of these people are also people that I know in my life, potential family members, you know, and things like that. So it's heavy, folks. It really is heavy. And it might be me as well. I'm not saying it wouldn't be me. It's the times we live in, you know. It's the times we live in. You know, coming back, that was more of my closing of this talk. I wanted to really say about, like, when you know no better. You know, that's what Jesus says to the people that are, you know, stoning and whipping and whatever, spitting. And I don't exactly know the quote, but he says to somebody else, they know not what they do, you know. And it's true, they know not what they do. And like I was saying to my lady friend, you know, like I drive past a lot of these villages, you know, and it looks like really hard, tough living, you know, and it is, there's no question about it. I mean, you know, it's just like it's filled with drunken people, it's filled with, you know, it's just, there's just so much, you know, living in a village is not easy, you know, and living in the city is even worse, I would actually say, to a large degree. I don't know, it's easier. But what I'm saying is that, like, people in, you know, like, you can't take a first world person and put them in a third world place to live. You just cannot. It just cannot work, because the first world knows the difference. You can't take a third world person, put them in a first world situation for most of their life and then put them back into a third world. I mean, you could maybe to a certain degree, but it's very, very difficult. You see, it's like in the Truman Show. He says, we accept the reality of that which we've been presented with. So we know no better. And most people know no better. You know, like how terrible their lives are, right? And I know I'm saying many things. People living in the city, they don't know. Like, they come out, but they've never really connected with nature. They don't really know the spaciousness, the healingness. They don't know. People don't know the deep richness of life, you know, that is, you know, all around in every moment, in every part of existence. They don't realize that we're on this amazing, profound journey of soul and spirit and evolution. Like, they don't realize it. Like, for them, you know, all that it is, like, it's just about you have fun and then you die. You know, you try and win with the most toys. You know, try and die with the most toys. Like, literally, their understanding of life is so narrow-minded, is so small. I just admit for myself driving it, but they know no better. They don't know what they're missing out on. They don't know, you know. And I know I'm saying many things here, but like, they don't know. But again, at the same time, I don't think they suffer as much. I'm serious. I don't think they suffer as much. And like, and I really think that I really think when you don't have consciousness, when you don't have shame, like this guy who's pathetically drunk trying to sell sticks, you know, and he's pathetically drunk, he's got no shame, he feels no, you know, he doesn't, I mean, he gets up the next day and he does the same thing again. He doesn't look and say, geez, what am I doing with my life here, right? The money that I'm spending on booze, maybe I can buy a new pair of shoes, maybe I can straighten up my act, maybe when I sell these sticks I can be a bit more presentable, I can be a bit more human. I can be not so ghoulish, or not so monstrous, or not so appalling or insidious, or something. Like maybe I can be, so people can come close to me. I can, I don't stink them out. I don't frighten them or something like that. I don't scare them. There's nothing like that. There's no feel of like, what am I doing in this planet? Like, because my actions are not working and I'm causing suffering, I'm causing discomfort to others, to myself as well, and therefore I care to do more. Like, I care to do more. There's not enough people on this planet that care to do more, like in the Lorax, the movie The Lorax, for those who've seen it, it's brilliant, at the end. Well, it's more so, it's like, unless somebody like you cares, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change, and not enough people care. They don't care about their actions. They don't care about this world. They don't care about the future. They only care about themselves. They are so narcissistic. They are so self-involved. They are so self-worshipping. They are their own gods. That's part of the new age. You are God. People now, they are their own gods. There is no God anymore. They are God. I am God because I have these powerful technological tools that, that of what I can do, and therefore I am God. I am beautiful like God. I mean, more beautiful than God, and whatever it is, and just more rich than God. I mean, I've heard that saying in this TV series Billions. He's got more money than God. I mean, that's it, So it's all blasphemous or whatever it is. And also, we are so one-dimensional that we go to church and therefore we're good-hearted people, we're good conscious individuals, we pay a little bit of charity, we do a little bit of charity work, and therefore we're saints. Therefore we think to ourselves as saints or something like that. We cherry-pick ourselves, we're so disassociated with ourselves, we're living in an illusion about ourselves. Right? We've taken the cream of the crop of ourselves and not seen any of the dark side. Like this guy here selling the sticks, the drunken buffoon, right? For him, he just feels like, I do have a job. I'm sure he goes home, maybe his wife or something like that, or his children wouldn't dare say anything to him because, and his wife says, look, what are you doing? So what do you mean I'm doing? I'm doing my job, but you're drinking. You say, so? I'm still selling my sticks. It's not my fault that people aren't buying my sticks. You see, and that's the thing, and then it's a victim mode, and you blame everybody else. So you're always in the right. You're always in the right. You're never in the wrong. You never have to look at yourself. You never have to take a moment of self-reflection. Never. You never have to take a moment of self-reflection and see what it is that you are doing. Like, never, right? And so that's it. You never sin, right? I mean, so you're pure. You're completely pure. You're completely above the law, above order, above, everything. I mean, whatever it is. You are God in that sense. And you are a goddess in that way, right? And so that's it. That's what he says in The Devil's Advocate. He says, you build egos the size of cathedrals. You make everybody into their own gods, right? And whatever it is, so to speak. And so on and so forth. And we see people playing God all the time, Mr. Gates, Mr. Fauci, whoever it is, and whoever else is to come, whatever, all the procedures and things like these people play God all the time, So we're void of God. I mean, we have gods. We have gods everywhere, on every corner, like I'm saying, and we are worship. We worship money. We worship alcohol, we worship fashion, we worship sex, we worship status, we worship fun, right? We worship happiness, right? We're happy machines, again, part of the New Age, which I'll get into as well, right? How the New Age has infiltrated the whole world. It just isn't called the New Age, right? In a way, I'm saying it is called the New Age, but we think the New Age applies to people, on yoga mats and crystal healers and things like that, and Reikis, and so, I'm not saying Reiki, and all of it's real, but I'm saying sometimes the typical, the stereotypical type of sort of left-wing, individual who's a New Ager. No, the New Age is hip-hop music, it's materialism, it's all this stuff. This is the New Age. This is the new normal in a sense, so to speak, right? Or whatever it is. It's all like collectivism. this is what CV is about. It's about collectivism. In a way, many other things as well, but it's about collectivism, right? And it will be further so when we join into, transhumanism, and those that don't want to do it will be left behind. And when potentially a false messiah comes out, and those who don't believe and don't follow, it's going to be massive, folks. It's going to be huge. We really, and so it's incredible times. So that's what I'm saying, is that like the conscious individual sees things on multidimensional, on many dimensions, and from many angles and from many different layers of feeling, right, and insight and consequences. They see a much bigger picture, and they see what's going on, and they feel very, very deeply. They can feel the peace and they can feel the war, right? They can feel the love and they can feel the despair and the hatred. They can feel the whole, and they can feel the separateness, the division, right? They can feel the truth and they can feel the lies. And again, most unconscious people cannot feel the truth or the lies. They cannot feel any of that. So that's it. The conscious person, I feel, is the one that suffers most, right? They have the most existential problems. They have the most challenges. I mean, because you look at the unfairness of things, the unjustness of things. They feel their separation from God, from source, from alignment, from centeredness, from peace. They feel that immensely, That disturbs them immensely. For other people, the further they can remove from God, the further they can move from responsibility, from individuality, from soul, the more comfortable they are, the more, hedonistic they are, of course, but the more in joy, in happiness, that is spoken by the Matrix masters. That's what they feel, But for the conscious individual, happiness and joy is when you feel connected, when you feel inspired, when you feel, part of it, a bigger picture, when you're imbued with meaning, and things like that. It's not cheap thrills, happiness and joy and bliss and things like that. Bliss sometimes can make you cry because it's so beautiful and so painful at the same time. Yeah, so all right, folks, I'm going to sneeze and yeah, that's gone now. But yeah, just interesting times indeed. And so, I don't know, I'll end off on this, but for myself, like, I do appreciate, I try and appreciate and acknowledge that from the very memory that I can recall, that life has been tough, that life has been a challenge, right? That I've had to contend with life, right? And I still do. And there's still many things I don't understand. There's so many things I don't understand. And yet I need to embrace that this is a journey, right? This is a happening, this is a process, that my life has been tailor-made in a very specific way in order for my own growth, for my own opportunity, for my own self-realization, for my own becoming, and fulfilling of my own potential, right? But there's much of it that I would change, but I can't, and I have to accept that. And that's very difficult to do, right? But it must be done. And so again, it's just appreciating the struggle, appreciating the opportunity, again, the duality of things, appreciating the hurt, appreciating the pain, appreciating the love, appreciating the beauty, and appreciating it all above all and everything. And may this sort of thinking, actions, feelings of meaning and beauty and love carry us through these current the current times and the times that we are going into, because we will need very much so to be a part of love, meaning, you know, and connectedness in order to keep our heads above, or, you know, just to be able to ride the wave and be able to transition smoothly through these these coming times, for sure. All right, folks, with that, much love. We'll chat soon. Take care.